Best of 7, love all. Can't get much better for a start than that. Serve with the receive that earns the third ball for a clean winner. Now this is the sort of pressure that Kasumi's going to have to face and also play with. You see, she's trying to create the wide angle as early as possible after one to the middle. It's a good time for it. Plays two, actually. Gets a forehand out of ZHU Yuling from in on the body. Then the backhand and tries to go wide. Ooh, that's pretty heavy. Love to see that again. That one goes into the very bottom of the net. Ooh. Yuling says goes down. And that was the call, tied up, 2 each. After all, ZHU Yuling was the only one in Canada who saw it live, the one that clipped the back edge, so she does seem to have laser-like focus, unbelievable sensitivity for contact. Ooh, the forehand flip cross court as well. Now, Kasumi Ishikawa's got a variety of serves she'll bring out, but this one sits up just barely. ZHU Yuling just flipping it deep to the corner. Soft flip a little bit long. Now we saw Timo, another left-handed legend, or I should say a left-handed legend, softly flipping the ball just behind the net. Kasumi Ishikawa was caught a little in between there. It looked like she regretted not going for it, not hitting it harder. ZHU Yuling with heavy spin there. It's going to take a lot out of the legs from Kasumi to lift and rip. With the forehand, we saw her do it pretty consistently yesterday against some heavy, heavy chops from Wu Yang. Unbelievable. ZHU Yuling to chase down the first one. Kasumi doesn't miss a shot, plays it wider and wider, and finally a finisher sends Kasumi way back off the table. From behind, ZHU Yuling still. This shot's the high-risk one for me. Keeps it in play, deep, top spin. A little bit of a late decision here for Kasumi to turn and take the forehand. I'll be curious to see as this match develops how pressure affects the match. ZHU Yuling's handled well so far, being world #1. Doesn't seem to change her mentality on the court. Again, this is what's going to be asked of Kasumi. Xiao Zhan there in the corner. We've got two outstanding coaches for this match. Kasumi really will have to be clever about when she goes for fast attacks and where she goes. That's a tough way. The soft spinning one, ZHU Yuling waiting right there with the power. Looks so effortless. 6 game points for world #1, ZHU Yuling. Backhand quick off the bounce, easy does it. 11-4, ZHU Yuling takes game one and starts off making these fans quite happy and proud. Zhongguo Dui, game number 2 coming up right after this. Back for game number 2, ZHU Yuling leading 1-0 with a quite dominant game 1. Very smooth, very comfortable. Kasumi brought out a few big shots, but nothing that seemed to phase ZHU Yuling too much. Just really stretching that arm. Kasumi's wingspan is going to be tested here in some of these rallies. Backhand to forehand, and it's Kasumi rubbing the shoulder and stretching it out. Physical fitness on the Chinese national team, unparalleled. Interestingly enough, on the Japanese side, the stretching regimen, the flexibility, agility, I see them stretching in the practice hall more than any other team. But the practice hall is a small percentage of the World Tour. Actually, decent percentage, but training camps at home, internal camps, this is where the real physical conditioning happens, in the gym. ZHU Yuling quite unpredictable with that, a little bit softer. And this is another example of ZHU Yuling using her opponent's spin to control the ball, give it back with a little bit of spin variety. See, the kick on the next ball was tough for Kasumi to handle. Even with a flip this strong to start, ZHU Yuling's right there waiting. I'll be really curious to see what happens when Ding Ning is back on the scene. It's a tough battle. Kasumi's playing well, but not well enough. Clever idea. Inside out forehand down the line. Very little margin for error on that shot. Those are the types of risks she's going to have to take. Changing it up on the serve here, moving more central. Seemed to help so far. Got the video, we got the photo. Good team right there. Man, that guy's intense. So ZHU Yuling was the one who was able to wait for the long push in this rally, the half long, and she got Kasumi to play that long push there and quickly into the attack game. That's the edge of the table, but still a quality shot from Kasumi. If it comes down clean on the top of the table, I'm curious if ZHU Yuling will get it back. It's always possible. She seems to be able to get it even with the very end of the racket, just full extension, keep the ball in play, stay balanced. So if it were simply speed, we've seen Kasumi Ishikawa with Liu Shiwen play some of the best rallies of the last few years. ZHU Yuling adds some variety to it, just such a versatile game. It's tricky. For example, that backhand, the way she finished, the tip of the racket didn't come all the way up, so it's not clear how much spin is on it. Let's see if we can see here. She'll open and the wrist carries up. The racket stays nearly horizontal to the ground. She's searching. Ishikawa's definitely searching for some answers. This is one of those back to the lab type matches. In between each game, that is going to be the lab that Kasumi Ishikawa has with Coach Mika Baba to try and find some strategy. That service, I'll play that again. But you can see Ishikawa looking for some answers and so far finding very few. Some edges of rackets recovered in there. Finally a point again for Ishikawa. Good exchange. A little bit of side spin on that last ball. That's right. Exactly what ZHU Yuling just did was what Kasumi Ishikawa did, a little more subtly though. Not even a racket up in the air for that one. When you have that much power, you have that much versatility, it just makes it so tough to predict. ZHU Yuling is very comfortable with the power that even Wang Manyu brings to the table. 6 game points once again for world number 1. And another edge to help. I'm a little bit surprised ZHU Yuling missed that last shot. It's not an easy ball, of course, way behind her, but we've seen her make these shots when she took the Women's World Cup. Oh, beautiful angle. A little bit off the top of the net as well, but this one's going to be a winner either way. 3 game points saved in a row for Kasumi Ishikawa. Now, in theory, if this were later in the match, you might see a timeout. It's still pretty early. Coach Xiao Zhan in the corner. Probably just taking it easy now. ZHU Yuling still appears to be in control. Let's see, though. 3 game points left. Soft spinning one. Another apology from Kasumi Ishikawa. 3rd towel break of the game. 1-1 versus 2-0. If you're sitting in the corner for ZHU Yuling, how important are these next few points? Bold long serve and a follow-up 3rd ball attack. Seems like Kasumi's pulling some Timo Boll style inspiration out here. We've seen Timo Boll play these long serves deep in matches with his back against the ropes. When you feel the opponent start to tense up, maybe they're going to be a little bit more nervous, not handle the risky play as well, and Kasumi took that gamble. 1 more game point for ZHU Yuling after 5 consecutive game points saved by Ishikawa. And the spinny shot does it all the way back, but it's not over yet. 6 in a row for Kasumi. This is something you need to discuss with your parents. Am I right? Mom and dad both educating here. ZHU Yuling now with the serve. See if she can take back some momentum. ZHU Yuling definitely taking some time here. Surprised there was no warning for play. And in the rally, the soft one, the spinny one comes in and ZHU Yuling on top of it. So first point out of the last 7 for ZHU Yuling, but it earns her 1 more game point. Ishikawa won her last 2 with the serve. She'll only get 1 here, so she needs to make it count. Moves a little bit more centrally on the table. Let's see. Oh, the backhand goes long, and after all that work, the long trek to come back from 4-10 down, the next 2 points from 10 all. ZHU Yuling saves the timeout, saves the game, and leads 2-0. We'll be back for game 3 after this short break. Players are back for game 3, both trying to stay loose after a bit of a nerve-wracking game 2. Just a reminder that ZHU Yuling is still human. Now, the type of bravery that Kasumi Ishikawa brought to the table from 4-10 down, and especially around 6-10 for me, really showed that she was confident, unafraid. But it also showed that her first forehand was going to have to be a quality one. Aww. Yay. Yay. It's been a while since I've seen this, but with a right-hander versus a left-hander, that long serve into the body on the backhand side can be very effective. So ZHU Yuling pulling it back out. That's the one. As soon as she gets the opportunity, that forehand's gonna have to be powerful and well placed. ZHU Yuling doesn't seem to be too bothered by softer spinny shots. It's gonna depend on depth on the table, if anything. A little more shallow on the table for the soft spinny ones out in front of ZHU Yuling, but still low enough. Or big with the forehand. Otherwise, that's what happens. Mid-distance, lukewarm. She'll eat it for breakfast. That's the soft one. Good on ZHU Yuling, hitting it right to the elbow, getting the weaker shot out of Kasumi. Some flash photography in the crowd. Outstanding play. Tested. And ZHU Yuling, even after all that, immediately knows where she's made her mistakes, where she could have done better from the middle. That short stroke. Yeah, ooh, how'd you feel about that one, ZHU Yuling? Gotta love the facial expressions. I think that beat her emoji face from the ITTF emoji video. That was a belated happy Halloween. Oh, just too long. The net ball comes down like a lob deep on the table with topspin. We don't see Kasumi Ishikawa lobbing too much. Look at this one. Sky net ball this morning. Oh, surprise. Table's got that last centimeter there, that white line. Watch the kick on this ball. Get ready for a good expression from ZHU Yuling once again. Whoa! What was that? That was the Keanu Reeves head shake. What? I know Kung Fu. The angle here, the shallow ball sits up a little bit again. She's gonna have to have eagle eyes out here looking for that opportunity for the first attack, especially when it's shallower and she... Right down the middle, the ball sits up a little bit. The service, though. Now, I think when you describe Kasumi Ishikawa, you think about her game. She's consistent. Her power is definitely improving, but not on the same level as ZHU Yuling. But her service variety, that really sets her up well. If she can put pressure on ZHU Yuling to really make quality receives like she's done, it'll sure help. I don't expect too many points to go this way. Kasumi taking the backhand on the forehand side, finishing the rally quickly. But sometimes mixing it up like that just reminds the opponent that they can't be too secure anywhere on the table. We saw Lin Gaoyuan win a few points that way yesterday. As soon as that long push comes out, ZHU Yuling is going to have the advantage. We've yet to see a long push, not that I can recall, that's really caught ZHU Yuling off balance. Nothing so wide that her next ball hasn't been quality. German fans in the crowd. Stadium will be filling up throughout the day. Again, Timo and Dima playing later on. Oh, beautiful shot. Inside out, going off the side of the table. ZHU Yuling, a clean winner here. We don't see that serve from Kasumi too much. Once ZHU Yuling rocks back like that, you know it's going to be trouble for the next ball. Shuffling feet just a little bit to stay mobile. It's quite a save from Ishikawa. Had to chase back the next ball. Some discussions there. Hey, once again on TV, stars on the cheeks. Had a chance to meet some of the Jongjika fan club, but also the Shushin fan club yesterday. There was some tissue going around after Lee Song-soo's performance. You'll have a chance to see Lee Song-soo twice today. Men's doubles final, men's singles semifinal. Oh, the counter quick. A little bit off the top of the net, but either way, a parallel shot. The timing for Ishikawa. This is the type of risky play we saw from Marcos Freitas yesterday, and that we've seen from Timo Boll for the last several weeks and many, many years of his career, taking the ball in the uprise. Just doesn't seem so risky for Timo because he's been so consistent with it. Clever idea, but the lead is disintegrated once again, tied back up. This is, in some senses, not literally the last chance, but it feels like the last chance for Ishikawa to really get in this match. If she's down 0-3 against world number 1 ZHU Yuling, well, I guess it'd make the comeback even that much more exciting if it happened. Now, we've seen tomahawk serves, shovel serves. This one looks like something in between, some top and side into the deep backhand. But when it comes to serves, variety is the name of Kasumi's game. That was the really? Okay. We've seen it a few times, though. The umpires have incredibly good eyes to make the call that they made yesterday with Timo and Ling Gao Yuan, to seeing lets that sometimes the players don't. Interesting, interesting. It's quite late in the point. Sometimes a soft receive and the player thinks the other one saw the let service. Again, ZHU Yuling, I guess it might have been an ears thing. Big forehand again. It's dangerous. Satisfied but nervous. Just trying to analyze that fan in the crowd for a moment. I was going to say ZHU Yuling's ears in Canada seem to be the best ears on the planet. That's what we discovered. In game point in game 5, ZHU Yuling was the only one without replay, without extensive replay, who caught it. Almost recovered the soft flip. So many times we see this, and we saw it yesterday. Kasumi saying, think, play wise. She got into position for the soft flip, but that can be so jarring when you're expecting a fast one deep to the backhand and someone plays it soft in front of you right into the middle. Game point for ZHU Yuling to go up 3-0. Saved once again. Another game point for Kasumi Ishikawa, saved. And now deuce in game 3. This is where she stopped last time. It was last game where she had 6 in a row from down 4-10. With all the different incredible matches that have happened here and all the conversations, feels like that game was yesterday. I think this is smart play from Kasumi Ishikawa. She just missed the shot. The first time she gets the ball wide enough to the backhand that it's a clear opportunity for a big shot, she goes for it. But under pressure, ZHU Yuling was the one who held firm. Another game point for ZHU Yuling. Oh, the backhand, the rip off the bounce. Under pressure again. Still a ways to go. It's got to be 2 clear points here for Ishikawa, but power and timing. If ZHU Yuling doesn't even get the racket up, you know that's fast and wide. Backhand once again right off the bounce. The question is, how many times can she pull off this shot? It's not an easy shot, but when you're playing somebody who's stronger than you, you have to play out of your comfort zone. We've seen this with Jun Mizutani versus Shushin. Seen it time and time again with many. I haven't had the chance to see the Lee Song-soo Shushin match. I think after this weekend. ZHU Yuling taking her time figuring out the serve against game point now. And under pressure, the touch shot off the top of the net, a break for ZHU Yuling. Kasumi was there, but the touch was tough, and she pops it up just a little bit too much to keep herself in the point. And that's one where maybe you can play it deep on the table with some topspin. But in the push, it's going to have to be really low. Almost like a short serve receive, something that ZHU Yuling can't flip easily, but also can't attack, period. Ooh, and it's off. For a second, I thought maybe it could come down. That opening backhand and the follow-up finishing forehand. One more game point for Ishikawa. Play please was the warning. Oh, and an edge ball for Kasumi Ishikawa, 14-12. She takes the game. Risky long push, and with a bit of fortune, it pays off. So the match now, 1 game for Kasumi Ishikawa and 2 for ZHU Yuling. Let's see what happens in game number 4, coming up right after this. Players come back for game number 4. Kasumi Ishikawa has shown up for the party fashionably late, but not too late to really enjoy some action here on the dance floor. Let's see, shoulders shrugged on the receive. Ishikawa, ZHU Yuling with the serve and the lead. ZHU Yuling starting strong here. Deceptive underspin on a short pendulum serve. This time, even heavier, a bit more clear. That high toss serve that kicks into the backhand. Forehand flip for the winner. We got Rockadino in the crowd getting closer to the commentary booth. It's Jurassic Park up in here. Now this is the way to do it, the spinny backhand, but notice where the ball bounces on the table. The depth of this shot is going to cause more trouble for ZHU Yuling. You can see it comes down just behind the net. From the other camera angle, again, pay attention to where the bounce is on the table when Kasumi Ishikawa hits a slower, spinnier shot. This is crucial. It's always fun watching the fans sort of rehearse what they see the players doing. There's another example. Tough ball, spinny and deep and wide. And I guess that's one of the beauties of watching the world's best players, is that they do inspire you. After watching them, you want to go try everything you've seen. Apply all the new tactics you've learned. Not so easy, not overnight success, obviously. Years and years of developing these shots. This is a big chance for Ishikawa, covering both of the wide corners, and she gets a shot that she can turn on. That forehand has been powerful, and it's been successful on many occasions. There's the desperation save. One more on the backhand side. This is the one to turn on. So you can feel the frustration from Ishikawa. Makes 3 backhands in a row quickly off the bounce. But once again, ZHU Yuling just keeps getting it back on the table, one of her many specialties. In theory, if you keep the ball on the table, all you have to do is keep it on the table longer than your opponent. Some people really like that tactic. At the professional level, it's tough, though, to win with just that. First 2 points of the game. Service receive. Ishikawa's been having trouble dealing with the underspin on ZHU Yuling's serve. Some changes in the contact. Now on the forehand side, ZHU Yuling, when she gets that first forehand ball, it finishes the point quite a lot. Here she goes for a little more power with the backhand. Kasumi's been pretty comfortable countering that, keeping those in play. You might remember that shot, the one where the wrist comes up with the racket, a little bit less topspin on it, but ZHU Yuling doesn't control it as well as the time we saw it before. That first off the bounce backhand, that's the one. But after that, as soon as she softens up a little bit, it's tough for her to get back in the driver's seat, to get in position to earn a fast attack. Wow, there's a backhand from baseline on the table. Still the flag is up and the smiles as charming as ever from the Chinese fans. Hey, all right. It's the beauty of carrying a big flag with you. Even the Germans behind you look like they're supporting China. Oh, serve goes wide. So ZHU Yuling with 5 game points. Kasumi saved 6 in a row in game 2. She's got 5 to go here just to get to deuce. Let's see. After all that work, gets so many back on the table, but can only play 1 game point, and ZHU Yuling wins it. So a dominant game for ZHU Yuling to go up 3-1, looking to finish it here in the next game. Game 5 could be the last. We'll see what happens. Ishikawa versus ZHU Yuling right after this. Back for game number 5, Kasumi Ishikawa with some rope burn on the back now. Back against the ropes, down 1-3, moves over for the serve as wide as we've seen on the forehand side. Now this is one way to get your backhand into play more. Backhand dominant players will serve with their backhand from way out on the forehand side of the table. I think that's an interesting strategy. Wouldn't be surprised if Mika Baba had some decisions, I'd say some impact on that decision anyway. After all, Kasumi's backhand we've seen 2 ways quite effective. Quick off the bounce to get into the rally, but also that ripping wide angle. So a good start for Ishikawa in the 5th game. Right at the back edge of the table. Excellent placement for a half-long serve. Longer side of half-long, but close enough. Once again, deep on the table. By the time Kasumi Ishikawa tried to play it short, it was quite deep, and it's very difficult to keep a ball short when you take it late. Big forehand coming in with determination. This is a forehand that does not want to rally. And this is the strategy again. Much like an injured player, when you're playing someone stronger than you, you can't afford to let the rally get long. For most players, typically, the longer rally favors the stronger player. Ooh, surprise, a little bit of topspin on that side spin serve. The pendulum with subtle contact, and Ishikawa at the first towel break, that looked like a towel fake. Came right up to the head and was like, I don't know if I need it. Ooh, excellent block from the middle. Normally not enough to finish the point against ZHU Yuling. Let's see this one more time. Big forehand, comes back, a little shallow on the table. The bounce was quite surprising. ZHU Yuling was like, wait a sec, I'm gonna double check this. She didn't move her head much, just the eyes went back down to the table. Interesting, yeah. Facial expression says it all, though. Well, several points in a row now for Kasumi Ishikawa. Oh, dismissive backhand. Don't give me that serve. Or maybe, yeah, please give me that serve. I'd like to see it again. I dare you. Sits up just a little bit middle of the table. ZHU Yuling quick to get in. That's unfortunate for Ishikawa. She had a good opportunity off the net. I think she played it wise from the start with this serve long to the backhand. Timeout now, Ishikawa already in the corner. But I think that's a great way to respond. You know, back in the day now, doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess it has, what, 2001? 5 serves in a row. The rhythm was different. Players creating patterns, a whole sequence of serves, now just 2. You really have to take advantage of creating a pattern or breaking a pattern, just sort of fooling your opponent with the second serve. You see someone rips the ball from over the middle of the table with their backhand, follow up with the long serve to bring them back, keep them from coming in over the table, surprise them, catch them out of position, off balance. And it is sort of interesting to see the camcorders there. You've got professional TV quality production broadcasted around the world, but the players want their personal cameras to record for their own libraries so that they get everything and they can study, learn from their mistakes, from their successes as well. But much more often the studying is done where the mistakes are. But it also depends on the mentality of the players. Sometimes players need reminders about how it's possible. For Lee Ho-Ching beating Kasumi Ishikawa for the first time in like 12 tries. The power with the backhand, calm and comfortable. ZHU Yuling, 3 points in a row from down 2-6. That one backhand, as soon as she takes the wrist back, you know there's going to be some serious heat on the ball. So the top edge of the racket, and Ishikawa has lost some momentum here. It was a strong start to the game, but out of the timeout, we still have there it is, inside out forehand parallel for the winner. I was thinking something we don't see in women's table tennis too much, of course with Matilda Ekholm, yes, is people trying to hit the ball around the net on the receive. If someone were to serve wide to the forehand, if Ishikawa tried to play a long kicking serve. The problem with that is it does leave an option with the fast feet of ZHU Yuling for a ball even wider to the backhand or deep cross court, even if she doesn't go for the around the net shot. And that soft lift that we've seen ZHU Yuling has tried now 3 times that I recall, possibly more, but the last 2 have not gone in. She's had her warning before. That second forehand, Ishikawa just isn't able to put enough anything on the ball, not spin nor speed. This one right here, just a little bit soft, and ZHU Yuling very comfortable to counter that for a winner. It's tough to hang on to control in a point like that. Again, the opening forehand from Kasumi Ishikawa was quality, but she's going to have to play the second one under pressure as well, unless ZHU Yuling's way behind the table. This is much better from Ishikawa, but still not good enough. ZHU Yuling playing everything back on the table. Ishikawa hits the second one harder this time, the third as well. And then blitzing the table, ZHU Yuling comes right back in, completely changes the timing and the angle for Ishikawa. What a difficult player to play against. Long, bold serve, and we've got 2 match points for ZHU Yuling to move on to the women's singles final. No towel for Ishikawa, just a little bit of a think. The crowd claps on Ishikawa to see the match continue. And nope, not gonna happen today. ZHU Yuling in top form, world #1. At only 22 years old, ZHU Yuling moves on to the women's singles final. The question is, who will join her? Feng Yalan is there. She's won the tournament before back in 2010, but she's got Chun Meng, world rank #2 ahead of her. That'll be the next match of the day. ZHU Yuling be able to rest a little bit. A high five to Coach Xiaozhan. Kasumi Ishikawa with a solid tournament, but still has some work cut out for her to catch up. And not only the world rankings, but in level to the top players from China, including world #1 ZHU Yuling. 4 games to 1, there you have it. Another semifinal.